what's going on, folks. Hopefully this thing is acting right and all that good stuff. It seems to be. It seems to be. Oh man, I ain't gonna be up here too long. How's everybody doing and stuff? It has been a while since I just got up here and just ran my mouth about God knows what, because that's the plan today. That is the plan today. I have been super busy with family stuff, the duplex with the whole hole in the roof from small electrical fire, and oh god, it's all part of the game though, right? Like it's all part of the game. What else? And then drawing and getting stuff together with that. I've had to um I've had to completely like change up the story because I felt like with Damien in the character that I was going somewhere that I couldn't really I couldn't really see for myself. Um, it was wild because when I was, hel- and it wasn't any of the people like my editors or anything. It wasn't none of them that came up with anything wrong or nothing. It was just how something's nagging at you, and you're like, okay, this ain't the way I really want to do a thing. Cause like what happened was that we were going more for we're going for like a younger Damien, and he's may have to yell to my kids to get up soon and stuff. So if it happens, it happens. But we were kind of going for a younger Damien, and you can see it in some of my art. In the story that I wanted to tell, like in my spirit, it just wasn't gelling the way I thought it was. I'm like, well, maybe it's because I'm like, no, maybe it's because I'm new to the art thing and I don't un- understand and stuff, and maybe it's just that. Maybe that's and it's like, no, that's not what's it. That's not what's it. Because I've written stories. It's like you've written stories, man. You don't have to struggle or try to get through it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, just on this journey, I don't feel like I'm at the level to be like writing something I just don't like yet, especially if it's coming from me. Like I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think I'm on that level to do that thing. And I may not ever want to be on that level because I know how doing that in other industries and other stuff, doing stuff you don't want to do. I understand how that affects your work and stuff. It's just kind of like, and then even if it's a Luke, is that you? Did you wake up the boy? I got my kids got to get ready for school. Are you about to eat too? All right. Um. Yeah. Again, I'm just giving it to y'all the way it is. I all this quiet and I'll never get it with the way my house is set up, the way my family is set up. I'll never get it. But it was like trying to make him younger. Thank you, baby. And then trying to do stuff where it's like it was like his family is this, and I was just like, yo, man, I'm doing too much. Like this isn't this isn't what I'm going for, and this isn't even the type of story that I like that I feel like I can improve on. I like I look at um Naruto stuff like that, and that's not that's not my thing. Like I like Dragon Ball and everything and all that other stuff, but that's not my thing personally. And trying to write something like that, especially with me being so concerned about the art, because it's like feel like the art is so important too. Because it's gonna be like, no, 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 no. Feel like the story is important, but I feel like I have to at least get my point across with the art. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't plan on stopping doing the art no time soon. I'm 40. So I'm like, yo, I'm 42. So I'm like, I'm gonna be doing this till I'm like 70 something. I got a good 30. Because I was reading a book and it was talking about how if you hit 30 or 40 and you think it's over, you got a long way to go. And that on average, most people when they hit 40, they got about another 30 to 40 years left. Like on average, you're gonna slow down everything, but that doesn't mean you gotta stop, right? So I was listening to this about a year or two ago, and I was like, ooh, ooh, okay. Well, excuse me, it's time for me to start getting my stuff together about how I'm going to do things and how I'm going to uh do the next half of my life, right? So art isn't going to stop. It's going to look crazy this first one, but I still want my story to be solid. And with Damien, me focusing on like trying to make him young, trying to do, and it was like the story in me was harder. It was rougher. It was I got Andre. Like you can go read the Extraordinary Messiah. You can get on my website and stuff. That one is like of a young boy, and he's going through those things. So I didn't really want to write that over again. Uh, I wanted to write something that really set with me. Um, I'm I'm gonna be taking a lot from like Book of Judges from the Bible because I used to read it a lot when I was growing up, and I always tell people my Bible reading was never because oh man I'm a Christian and it was never because of that. It was never because of that. My Bible reading came from me seeing a poster of like a dragon, um, a leopard lion type beast, and then a lion, and then a regular lion with like a crown and stuff, and it was like referring to all the stuff in the Bible. And I saw it, and I was like, "Oh man, that's crazy." And I had the Bible verses in the back, and and I would read. I would read those Bible verses pertaining to the images on the poster, and then I loved it for more of the literature side of things, right? Like this literature and then the lessons that they were told. Because even in middle school, I understood the lessons they were being. Not necessarily, hey, you need to. God said this. I'm like, that wasn't really my thing. That wasn't really my thing. Because even as I was when I was young, I never really wanted to hit nobody over the head with what I believed. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you what I think. I'm gonna keep it rocking. We out. So that's what was happening with that. And 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 Damien, I'm kind of shifting with the art, even with the art, like the ones I post up here and there and stuff, and even on my other pages, aged him up. I gave him like sword because one of the thing, like people talk about this thing with Jesus where it's like and this is one of the things that kind of stick in my head, right? How they always talk about, and again, I'm not telling nobody nothing about their religious beliefs. I'm not pushing. That's not what's going to be in the story. That's nothing like that. And not even what I'm saying now. This is just stuff that I remember and stuff that always stuck with me. From reading it as a part of like literature and like history, and as a entertainment, um, entertaining book because the Bible's entertaining as a motherfucker. Like all these stories that you see come out of stuff like that. But one of the things that always I gave him a sword, not because of like an anime character and this and that, but because uh Jesus tells his disciples to go out and do whatever, and he tells them, bring this, you don't bring money, but you do bring a sword because you are going to have to defend yourself. And people keep leaving stuff like that out about Jesus in the Bible. And it was always a thing for me. I was like, am I reading the same thing? Because y'all talking about a bunch of like happy go lucky shit, and that's not what was going on in there. He literally told them to bring a sword because they're going to have to defend themselves and they're going to go through trials that you're going to have to handle that if need be. And so I've always remembered that. And then even with and so I wanted to tell a harder story with Damien, and I wanted to put him through things. And the way I had him originally, like younger and stuff, I wasn't going to be able to do that. So now on with creating on that side, getting that side straightened out with the story, it's made the art easier in the art, and I could create a little bit better with that sort of story. And it's wild how that works. Cause again, this is new to me. This part is new to me. Like doing the actual art, like trying to figure out stuff how to make this kid happy and doing stuff and all this. I'm like, no, no. And so the main part, the main thing of the story is just is loss, not feeling good enough, and being in situations where you have to defend people that don't necessarily care for Damien, right? Like you're defending people, you're doing things in life. These folks keep treating you crazy. They keep talking crazy to you. You're helping people. You're not really getting it back. You might get it back, and then it's gone. That sort of thing. Then the other thing is overall a system garbage like that. I really wanted to talk about that, and I don't care if I'm giving away too much and it's not out. We gonna keep talking about it. I'm gonna keep doing art. I redid this. I recently redid the rough drafts of the script and stuff, and so I'm gonna have to get the writing over again because I was writing the other one and it was hard. It was hard. Like the Extraordinary Messiah wasn't that hard to write. Void Beast books weren't like that. But the ones that really like Extraordinary Messiah and Souls of Chaos, like those two, they weren't that hard. Like once I started getting the flow, they weren't that hard to write. This was hard, and I don't. And it was like, yo, what is going on? This doesn't make sense. So now I've been able to jump back, get everything together, and I'm rolling with it. So it's I'm doing I'm on track. I feel like, and I'm gonna be putting down my my process and getting everything together. I might have to share it if I think about it. I usually forget some of this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Then I'm like, man, and then I just forget. But yeah, like it Damien is a garbage system, like a garbage system, just garbage. And the thing that bothers me about because this is something that nags at me, it nags at me, it nags at me. And the thing that bothers me the most is like we live in a system that we know is garbage, and we still fight people to, to believe in the garbage. And that's where Damien, like big overall story. That's where Damien is. It's like, yo, man, I know this system needs to come down, and I'm willing to take it down if need be. I'm willing to take it down with violence, not, not, not this. Hey, we're gonna talk to everybody. No, 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 no. I know these people are terrible, and 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 I know that they're doing the wrong thing, and I'm not going to go along with what they're doing. I will change the system, and I will take the responsibility of changing it. Whatever you want to call me, you call me that. I'm gonna deal with that. It's part of the thing. It's part of the game. But that's where we're coming at from him. Because for me, it's like I look at the system that's going on right now, and every single side to me is garbage. When you start when you do things that hurt people, and especially since we in America, you do things that hurt the American people. I don't care what color you are, and even people across the world, right? I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion you are. I'm not even going to engage with you. Well, what about? I don't care. That's all right. If that's how you feel. That's how you feel. I'm not getting to that. But when you do things and say things on both sides, because we dealing with Democrat Republican stuff, right? When you do things to hurt people on both sides and you lie, then I'm sorry. I can't rock with you. We know what Trump and them was doing. Just dumb. Just trifling shit, just blatant like, hey, we trying to get this money for ourselves. It's always been like that. It's always been that. And I feel like he's the one that they let get in there so that he can put some stuff in place and the rest of them can back like, oh, we don't know nothing about that. Uh and that's something I have to talk about a little bit more in depth. And then we got the other side. I heard Jasmine Crockett say something to the effect of if you want planes to stop falling out of the sky or something, uh, you vote for the right person and voting has consequences. And I heard that and I was like, these motherfuckers is trifling as hell. Because you would say something like that and say that voting has an effect on that when the whole time the US government has been, and this ain't no conspiracy, this ain't it, you can look it up. Um the US government has been having partnership with two companies with airplanes, two, and that's America's Boeing and Airbus in England. Both of them have been having problems over the last 10 plus years. Both of them have been having problems like all kind of engineering issues and stuff. And they just kind of like, they just this is the ones they got the contract with. They pay the politicians get them more work. This is both sides, it's bipartisan. This ain't one or the other. This ain't you voted for this one. This is both. This is both. Hell, even the stuff that's going on with Elon has been both sides. It's not a this side did this and this side that did this. It's both sides, both with a F, both. It's both sides doing it. It's not a hey this um Biden was blocking China and stuff to help Elon get certain EV grants and more space in the US. Whole time it's been studied that China's 747s and their aircrafts have been better made and have been better quality over the last few years, while Boeing and Airbus have continually gone down. that's who the US, even these AI companies, Democrats, Republicans, who the US in general, the US in general have partnerships with these companies. And instead of dealing with, hey, this is safer for the American people, both sides say, nah, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna rock with China with that. We'll just lie to American people and let the debt, because there've been plane crashes and stuff before what's going on a lot. They just haven't said it. Now it's a thing where they want to say it, they want to politicize it. And that's why I have a disconnect with them. Like any side. I think both of them is trifling. And again, for me, I'm like, hey, let it go then. Let it go. I don't care what nobody says. They can bark me down, they can call me whatever. I don't care. You're just gonna be wasting your breath. Or matter of fact, you might feel like you're doing something, but you're not. I'm like, I'm not. You could bark me down, you could you this and that, and you just don't know, and you need to make sure you probably really this and yeah. All that usual stuff. No, I'm for my people, and my people doesn't vote with me. That's what I'm for. So it was just a thing where this type of stuff was kind of like egging at me. It was bothering me, and I wanted a character that really could handle that. And um and yes, Damien will kill people. He will kill these people. Like not just indiscriminately, like run in, nothing like that. But it's a thing where I felt like I wanted a character that could deal with that thing, and that's what Damien represents. So I'll um I'll be putting out most stuff about it and everything, and we'll keep everybody up on it. But it's just something that's in my chest. It's in my chest, and y'all know me. Like my favorite stuff is like is still forever is Berserk. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, that sort of thing. And I still got to read Vinland Saga. My man Zach, he always tells me it's like, and I got a new site where I can read it and everything. So I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna read that too. That's the kind of thing that really resonates with me, because the truth of the matter is Berserk, Vinland Saga, stuff like that, if you look at if you look at the Bible, it was close, like the Old Testament. A lot of that was closer to that. I know it sounds wild. I know it sounds wild, but the Bible is closer to that sort of story than some of these other ones, and especially the Old Testament. So eh, that's what sits in my heart. That's what I can sit down and I can talk about and I can write about. So it is what it is. We'll get more of that, and sign up for my newsletter to stay up on everything that we're doing. I'm trying to get some new things together. And once I finish getting them solidified, I'll start talking about what I'm doing and stuff as far as some other things business wise. So yeah, I've been it's 6:32, so I gotta hurry up. um, I've been haven't been online as much because I've been drawing and then running back and forth to my duplex, my daughter's birthday, family stuff, and everything. So I haven't been on there like that. But I recently, two things have happened. Like the Captain America movie has come out, and and then people have been talking about Korra again, and and I feel like there's a lot of dishonesty in these conversations. A lot of stuff I don't respond back to, because I feel like it's coming from an internalized place where you have made this your identity and you've made this part of you, so you feel like you have to defend the thing. So with Captain America, we all know it came out. Sam Wilson is Captain America. Gist of the movie is his buddy got framed, which is Isaiah Bradley, that was in the TV show. They trying to figure out what's going on. The leader is behind everything. He set up Serpent Society. President Ross, who is now Harrison Ford, he he gets turned into the Red Hawk by the leader. Blah 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 blah. If you haven't seen it, sorry, sorry. But with all that said, this movie was weird to me. It was good. Me personally, if you liked it, I'm not saying nothing's wrong with you. It ain't nothing wrong with you. That just may be your sort of thing, and it may be one of those movies where you just go and you sit down and you be cool with it, right? Because some movies you can just sit down; they can be complete garbage. You sit down. I got them too. It can be complete garbage. You can see mics hanging from the ceiling, everything. And you still like, yo, this my shit. And I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. This is just where I'm coming from. You're not, I'm not, this has nothing to do with you or anything. This is me. And I'm gonna tell you, like watching it was like it was almost hard to watch. And I felt like it was in the when I was having this confliction because they had a bunch of people that I liked. I don't like Anthony Mackie much. and he's not a bad dude. I just don't like his face. Like he has a weak face to me. But felt like Anthony Mackie did a good job. I was like, he okay, okay. He did a good job. This man, he acted. He felt like felt like he was Sam Wilson, Captain America. I felt like he did a good job. Felt like Giancarlo did a good job. The boy that was Falcon, he did a good job. Harrison Ford did a good job. It's like I'm looking at it. I'm like, yo, these people are doing good jobs with what they have. And so when I say that movie wasn't good, I'm not blaming it on them. Purely blaming it on Disney. I'm putting it on Disney and Marvel's feet because what they did was horrible. Backgrounds and some of the special effects were ass. Where it was like you knew that this stuff was fake, and you know it's fake. But then if I'm bothered and I don't, it's not taking me out to where I can be like, oh yeah, it's fake, but who cares? If they ain't doing that, I'm like, okay, something else is going on. I felt like the story was doo doo, and I didn't like how everything with Sam to me was it was about the mantle. It was about the mantle. It wasn't about Sam. Hell, the leader didn't even care about Sam. He didn't. He it was just kind of like he there, but nah. And the leader kept, and I understand what people were saying. Like the leader kept making these. They kept talking about how he was so smart, and everything he did was just goofy. Nothing worked. Like the only thing that worked was at the end, and it was like everything else is just kind of hey this and that, and then it's like he constantly like oh man, it was just like what is going on? And I felt like they didn't give us time to care about Sam anymore. To me, they didn't give us time to care about him. The stuff with like the stuff with the whole not taking the serum thing and everything was just kind of goofy. Because I agree, Sam needs to take the damn serum. It's like stop. It's like they gave him powers of everybody, and it was just like okay. So you have him not take the serum, which doesn't, and then it's this whole magical thing of man, the serum will make you eat. I'm like what? The serum? No, no, the serum didn't make anybody evil. It just what people already were. It just amplified what people already were. And Sam showed that he's not an evil guy. He's not. And it's like the stuff that, and then and people like I was talking about something. People are like, well, Captain America did because he had the serum. He was a super soldier. He had powers. The stuff was believable. Sam just tanking a hole with his hands, like taking him, the Incredible Hulk, like swinging a pole, and Sam was just like, "Damn, stop!" It was like, what? Some of the stuff was just weird. So I think again, I think this is a Marvel thing. And the reason why I don't listen to some of the detractions when I say that it wasn't the best thing is because we know that Kevin Feige and some of these people they're saying that yo they don't require us to read the other stuff or even watch the other stuff. So you don't respect us enough to keep to make continue continuity matter. You don't you don't care enough. So we're watching these movies, and then you just gonna go off and do whatever you want, and it doesn't make sense because they was talking about how like the Sokovia Accords, they talked about how they were done. They were talked about how it was somebody else, and then and when Sam was talking about he that Ross tore the Avengers up with that, and it was like could have swore that was Zemo that did that. Like Ross had his issue, and they started fighting and stuff, but really like tore him apart. I thought that was Zemo. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't Zemo, and it was Ross. Maybe I'm just missing something. So I'm like, okay, that didn't seem right. And then they said, and then didn't Daredevil say they were like done with, like they were nullified or something? But then when he was like, uh, I want you to put the Avengers back together. Didn't he say at the end of Shang Chi that didn't Wong say something about the Avengers with Captain Marvel and when Banner popped up, like they were still together and everything? Like it like maybe I'm forgetting something. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing something. It's like I'm not gonna listen to you defend the movie when I'm not talking about the actors. I'm not talking about them. All of them did well to me. I did think that little woman was just kind of there. That was kind of like, eh. I could have took her out. She wouldn't. Nah. Uh, so I was just like, yo, man, it didn't, it didn't, didn't. Some of the things just didn't make sense. And then giving him all those powers, but then like, no, you don't have to take the serum, but you gave him all these crazy powers. And it's like the other thing with the suit was like the suit is supposed to be able to absorb, and the wings can absorb stuff and everything, but then you got to get cut with a dude with a knife. Like, like how, how this work? Like I don't. Uh, mm. Feel like, and there's a lot of defense, and a lot of people, especially like on the on the black people side, it's like, well, I wanted to do good or this and that because people, I don't care nothing about what nobody else say. But again, if I'm sitting there watching the movie and I'm just like, oh, I'm feeling like I'm watching Aquaman, like, yeah, it just wasn't my thing. Feel like, um, the one that's going to be good, Fantastic Four, and it's because they don't have a whole track record to create from, right? Uh, I I won't be surprised if Thunderbolts is a little weird. Um, it, it it might be a little weird. Like the movie might be in the same place as this one. Might be a little weird and a bunch of jokey stuff, and because continuity wise, they're gonna be drawing on a few people, and it's like, and so even going back to Captain America, that was basically like one of my guys on my page it was like Incredible Hulk 2. That's what that was. And then it's like people are like, oh, I thought it was good, this and that. And my thing is, it's like feel in a weird place, right? Because you study writing and you learn what writing is. And I can pass certain things. But when people talk about stuff being good and we understand that, hey, with writing and stuff, there has to be a payoff with certain things, with certain treatments, how a person is treated, things we set up through the movie and everything. There has to be a payoff, right? Like we understand that we set this one thing up at the beginning or the middle of the movie, and sooner or later it's going to be a payoff. And there was a lot of stuff that was just like all over the place. And one of the things that really stood out to me, and I'm thinking, okay, I think Liv Tyler gonna show up sooner or later. It's like Ross is talking about, hey, my daughter, call my daughter. This is my daughter, my daughter, my daughter, my daughter, my daughter. Cherry blossoms, my daughter, my daughter, my daughter. And I'm like, okay, I see what's gonna go on. I see what's gonna happen. Okay, this is gonna make sense. This is usual, the usual like Hulk stuff. This is how they usually like red and green Hulk is it was always Betty. Like Betty get out, she stop him and everything. Okay, it's gonna make sense. We're gonna get to the end. I know he gonna fight him at the end. Okay. When they get to the cherry blossoms, like, okay, cherry blossoms, okay. They set it up. Daughter, the boss with the daughter talking about the cherry blossoms and seeing each other. Okay, they're gonna set it up. And she didn't come out. And in my mind, like structurally, following the structure and everything, and and just like being in it like as a watcher and like a writer, I'm like, okay, when the daughter gonna come? Daughter, okay, they telling us when she gonna come. And then she comes at the end, and I was like the very end, like very after everything is done, she comes. And I'm like, huh? What? J- Why did you have you had Sam come over there and just be like do his talk no jutsu, do his Naruto and stuff, and just be like, hey, your daughter used to walk with the cherry blossoms with her and stuff. And he was just talking about his daughter, and y'all couldn't bring Liv Tyler in to do that. She brought her in at the very end. It's like she got more experience dealing with Hulks, calming them down than anybody. Betty got more experience than anybody else without magic. And it was like, okay, this was weird. And so again, I'm not blaming. I am not putting it on actors. The actors didn't do bad at all. They recut, reshot, changed up, and you can tell it was like. And then even with that, it was like she was there at the end, and it didn't seem like like they had intentions to put her there, but it was like, oh, maybe we should put her somewhere. Which is weird. So I was like, okay, this is not the same. And I was just as a viewer, I was bored. Like I was just like, man, they the Serpent Society stuff is like, okay, they put him away, nothing happened with that. The leader just laid down. Like, what is going on? And then like even with the the whole Japan and in the US thing, I was like, that's not no, that's not that's not really that believable. So, and so I mean, again, character, I feel like Anthony Mackie did better than I thought he would. Because I was just like, I don't like Anthony Mackie like that. Then I was like, okay, okay, he did good in this movie. Garbage movie, not no fault of his, not no fault of Harrison Ford. None of that. It's just the way Disney put it together. And again, I'm not listening to you bark at me about this movie being good and what is this and that. When Marvel has said that they don't require their people to rewatch the old stuff, they don't have to worry about continuity for the most part. They can do whatever. So if they're gonna disrespect us, I'm not listening to a person disrespect me about why I should or why I thought what I thought. Fuck out of here. That's like that's Marvel don't respect us. Marvel doesn't respect us, and I'm supposed to be cool with it. No, man, no, no. You can go talk that shit to somebody else. It ain't happening with me. So moving on. Oh man, this one is a little is a little oh, this one is a little uh how do I put it? It's kind of the same thing. And I've been seeing people talk about Korra because the gist of it is that they're talking about a new Avatar show with an earthbending girl. And supposedly Korra was her last Avatar. They're not jumping too far. Korra was the last Avatar. And I, paraphrasing, she messed up something and it caused some issues and people got beef with the Avatar or something like that. So this little girl is stepping into a hornet's nest. And people are currently going on a jihad or a righteous crusade for or against Korra. And and I've said this before. Korra, I liked Korra. I liked Korra. I still stand on that she was stronger than Aang. Um, felt like that she made choices that were dumb, but that was the type of avatar they wanted to show, and they wanted to show that she doesn't have a complete understanding with, like, she's strong, she can do fire, water, and air. No, fire, water, and earth as a child. She can do came to her. Spiritual side of things, no, 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 no. And that's even in life. If your spirit ain't right, it's just you're gonna have a hard time with other people and yourself because you're too busy not understanding what your spirit is telling you and how to navigate through this world through what your spirit is telling you, not what anybody else is saying. And that was the thing with Aang. Aang understood himself for the most part. He understood himself. Korra did not. Her spirit was not right. It just wasn't. It was not right. And they're showing that to me through the whole show. Whether it was dealing with the boy, whether it was dating the girl. It was like, I don't really want to do these boy, this is my thing. I'm gonna go do this. And it was like dealing with people where it was like, she go, I'm the Avatar. I'm about to go see what's going on. And then somebody be like, "Hey, Cora, you pretty cool. You just that." And she'll come back to her homies and be like, "You know what? They seem cool. They like what I do." So, like, Cora, just because a motherfucker say something nice to you, that does not mean you need to completely just switch up plans. Because somebody talk a little slick to you, that don't mean you got to switch up plan. Stick on what you. But you know what? It's like she. Uh, and then she caused issues like the spirit is even trying to stop her from doing certain things. And she's still like, yo, this is what these people are talking about with me because the people close to me, they don't care. And I'm gonna do it anyway. The spirit's trying to stop you. It's like, hey, you're trying to open up around us. You should slow down. And people are trying to I don't again, I like Korra. She is stronger than Aang to me. And but when I watched because I rewatched it last year, and it was just like, oh my God, she made some horrible decisions, terrible decisions. And and I laugh at when people talk about her because it's true. It's because it's because it's true. She made bad decisions. But also my thing is why I don't fully like go in is because she was a child and Aang was a child too. He had better training. And uh even her trainers weren't as strong as some of the people Aang had. With that said, again, Korra made bullheaded decisions where people were trying to show her how to do certain things, and she was like, "Hey, I'm out. Hey, I'm not gonna do this. Hey, I'm gonna go with this person because they 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 telling me they can do whatever, and I don't like the way you do it. So I'm gonna go off with this person. I'm gonna go off with um my water bending folks or whatever because he say I'm cool, so I'm gonna go with him. Then you open up a thing and create airbenders. You created villains that came after you. Aang didn't necessarily create the villains he had because they was already whooping airbenders' asses and stuff. He just kind of ran because for one, he was nervous, and then two, he still wanted to be a kid and stuff, which is understandable. And even to me, with Korra, it's understandable. But what I'm really getting at is I can like a character, and I say this a lot. Like I can like a character in like a movie or like whatever, and I can still admit that it's garbage, or that they are terrible characters, or that they were horrible people. Like I can like them. It's not. I don't have an issue with liking a so-called horrible person if they fit what I personally like, not what y'all say. What I personally like, and I feel like I still like Korra, um, for the reasons I said, and her bullheadedness. It shows that yo, you can still be called, you can still be chosen, you can still be um person to handle business, even if you don't have it all together. That's what I feel like they were showing with Korra. Problem and Korra would take 2 steps back, get back to listening to people, and put things back to neutral, if not a little bit worse. Because I can imagine what this new young Avatar girl is going to have to deal with, because she doesn't have anybody to go back and talk to. And that was the thing about Aang. Aang uses wisdom, which Korra did not. Korra was not wise. She had no wisdom at all. Because her whole thing should have been like, okay, I don't know what she's like, I don't know what to do, and I don't understand. And it's like, you had a whole lineage of people that you could have gotten to if you would have listened to what these other people said, but you was too busy listening to flattering words. You was too busy thinking about yourself and everything. Um, and being tripped up when you go, I'm gonna go handle it and then talk to somebody and they mess you over. Um, so it that's how I saw what was going on with her, and she could have Aang would go back and talk to people. Cora didn't so much. Cora just was like, "Yo, I got it. I'm out. I'm gonna go handle it." Aang would go talk to just about anybody. He talked to he talked to Appa. He talked to Katara, Zuko. He'd go talk to the past avatars, but like, I'm about to go do something, and and I need to understand if this is the right way to go. And the thing about Aang, it even bothered me when he did that. Like, yo, just go handle them and get over with. Like, but I understand what they were trying to show with him. Or was the complete opposite, where it was like, I'm not going to talk to nobody, and I don't care. I'm not good at this air stuff and this spirit stuff, so I'm just going. to I'm gonna wing it, or I'm gonna try it, and by the time I try it, it's too late. So I can imagine what this new one is going to have to deal with. I think I might, depending on how they spin it, and I like that they if they keep with that Cora caused the issue. I like it. I like it because that's life. That's lineages. That's how things go. Ain't gonna be cool. This person might then somebody gonna come mess it up. But then somebody else is going to have to set it up where they get stuff correct and right for the next generation of people. And even with my story that I'm working with Damien, that's kind of what goes on and taking from the judges in the Bible. It was the same thing. Like with the judges, it was where Deborah was a good one. The only slip up she had was because of somebody else. They didn't the military dude, I forgot his name. He didn't act quick enough or something. Um but then Gideon, he was a great military guy, and he didn't slip up on the acting when he needed to and making decisions. Then he lost his mind and he messed up Israel to where it was like we don't. You went off killing and ruling people crazy. You messing up stuff. Samson didn't even get to where he was, and Samson reminds me of a Korah. Like you listening to people, people doing whatever you know they full of crap, then they mess you over, and instead of doing everything that you could have done, you had to settle for something else. So to me, I'm fine with Korah getting the boot. I'm not going to argue with nobody. I'm not arguing with nobody. If that's how you feel, yeah, that's fine, whatever. But I feel like that was part of the story that she was that because that was the story they wanted to tell to show that she was still the avatar. With all these bad decisions, she was still the avatar. And even being called and even being chosen, you still have to work on yourself. You still have to work on your spirit because there's other people that need you and other people that need what you have. And if you don't work on it, you're going to cause problems, not only for yourself, but other people. And that's the story I felt like they wanted to tell. So that's why I still like Korra. That's why I don't feel like it was like this, like they didn't know what they were doing. Like they didn't know what they were doing when they created her. Like, oh man, we lost sight along the way. No, they knew what they were doing. But I think they wanted to show different avatars where some of them messed up, some of them were this good. Like the one, I don't know all the names. Like, and this may have just been on the show, the recent show. So if I'm wrong, I'll listen on that part, right? I'll be like, okay, I was wrong. Um, the one that they were talking about, the waterbender, they were saying he stayed too long in the spirit world, and so it caused issues in the real world. Cora ain't the only one. He did the opposite of what Cora did. She didn't go in there enough, and when she did some goofy shit. He stayed there too long, and it knocked off the balance to where he was just like he didn't see the need to come back. This isn't new. This isn't it. Like so all this bullshit where people are talking about it's misandry and no, it's misogyny. No, you hate women. You hate what? It's already built into the story. It's dumb shit. This is them arguing for views and then in dog whistles for people that they want to get money from or get attention from. It's dumb. Because in the story, it already showed that other avatars did worse. Now, I, let me pull that back. I won't say worse because they didn't mess up the connection to the spirit world, the spirit realm, which she did, and I'm believing the Lula the Earthbender girl is going to have to deal with that, and I hope she does because if she don't figure out a way to get that real connection back, only having Korra to answer your questions is going to be ugh. No, 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 no. Didn't at the end they got it back, and those people came back, something like that, something like that. Uh, but I feel like they did that on purpose because they wanted to show an avatar that wasn't the greatest. That she made real life decisions. She made decisions of a person that was sheltered and kind of just stayed back. She didn't really have the life that Aang didn't either. So he was frozen. So, but for her it was a little no because yeah I was about to say it was her for her it was a little bit different because she had people holding her back. But Aang, the Airbenders, kind of set him back too, and he was kind of bothered. Like, yo, I don't get to do some of the other stuff that everybody else do. At her same age and stuff too. So I get it. So again, I like Korra. I like Korra, but I'm fine with the jokes that she getting, and I'm fine with the treatment because she made stupid decisions and she had people there to help her. She had people there. They were all standing there, willing to help her. It's like all you had to do was get this air and spiritual stuff together. That's what you had to do. And I'm not saying it was easy because of your big head, because you wanted attention, because you felt like you were the avatar and you knew more than everybody else. You kept not listening to the people that were there to help you, which caused issues with everybody, all because you actually didn't feel like it was something that you could do. That's what had happened to me. To me. And again, this is the way they wanted the story. So I don't see it as this is a surprise. All the avatars ain't supposed to be perfect. All of them aren't supposed to be perfect. So it is what it is. I'm here for all the Korra jokes. It's funny and it's true because Korra is hard headed. And I keep saying it hard headed. She is bullheaded. Didn't listen. She didn't care to listen. She kept doing goofy shit that would take her two steps back and then maybe get it to zero, get it back to zero, or -1. This Avatar got to deal with some trash. But again, ain't no different than the other avatars. It wasn't like they all passed it on and they did the right thing and stuff. And I feel like with their story with 4 and now, they wanted to show that. So hopefully we'll get the earth one, and then we'll get the fire one. We'll get two more hopefully, and it'll be a nice rounded story so that we can see how everything goes, and see the difference with each one, and see how one uses wisdom more. One may use Cora use her strength and stuff a little bit more. This one might use her, her spirit and stuff more. This one might then the fire one might be more well rounded than all of them. You know what I'm saying? Because Aang slipped up on some stuff. He was too passive on a lot of stuff. He was like, well, I'm not going to. I'm gonna just kind of sit. And like, come on, man, come on, get what you gotta go get what you gotta get taken care of. Get it done. So we'll see, right? We'll see. But again, I think they did a good job, and I hope that they can finish. Uh, the they can get this Earth one out, and we get a full understanding of what was going on, and they get the Fire one done too, and we get a full understanding because it's a connection with the avatars, and so then we can say, okay, this was this one, this was this one, this was this one, and this was this one, and because that's what's going on with like Kyoshi, uh, Roku, and all of them. Like we know the things that they did, but it, it, it plays into who they are and the lineage they left. Because it was like I love Kyoshi. Like Kyoshi is still my favorite one. I'm like, yo, do away with these folks. We see they not trying to change up nothing. Stomp them into the ground. But even that has consequences, right? Like even that had consequences. So it's not that any of them were perfect, and some were worse than others, but all this calling people it's misogynistic and all this other stuff, it's just because you don't like what's being said and you trying to tap dance around it. And that's goofy. That's goofy. The story already got everything set up that even the men one did dumb shit. Even the men avatars did dumb shit. And they will. And so it is what it is. And so the firebender might be a little boy or something. We'll see. And he might make dumb decision. He might completely end it. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the dragging that Cora is getting is deserved because those are the decisions that she made. And that's my girl. I like Cora. But I'm not going to argue with nobody for seeing what it was and because of Cora's own bullheadedness. So we'll see what it is and we'll talk about all that later. But anyway, um, I will holler at y'all later and I got to get ready to take my chilling to school and stuff and let me know what you think. Yay, nay, whatever. It's fine. Uh, but I'll holler at y'all later. Go to the website, check out the books and everything, and I will talk to y'all later, whether it's online, whether it's social, whether it's games, whatever it is through my art.